nocy bym nie chciała znów dotknąć cię. Jestem sama, lecz wciąż do snu szepcę kocham cię. Kocham cię. Kiedy słońce wstaje, wreszcie widzę znów, jak Bóg rozkłada swoje ręce. Gdy wychodzę mu naprzeciw, patrzę w góry, jak do nieba się drapują. Zimny wiatr rozchyla trawy, jakby szukał razem ze mną dnia. To nieprawda, że świat Serce kocham cię, kocham cię.
From the Podcast Detroit studios in Royal Oak, Michigan. For more information about the show or our network, please visit www.podcastdetroit.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, it's the Undercard. The Undercard brings you the best in hand combat sports, featuring major interviews, current events, and the hottest ring girls from around the nation. The Undercard is sponsored by Falling Down Beer Company, Podcast Detroit Studios, and is produced by Rochelle Whitman. And now, here are your hosts, Brad, Cody, and Jimmy.
Welcome, everybody, to a new Undercard. Cody is officially in Italy, enjoying
The bastard.
enjoying the Italian lifestyle.
I know.
over there.
I'm super jealous of him right now.
Oh, we're in fashionable Royal Oak. Why are
Super
you jealous?
Well,
jealous.
first of all, it's Italy, which is, it's the city. Well, it's a city of love, or the country of love, plus Italian food, plus just so much history there. Like, the two biggest places I'd love to go to, strictly from a historical aspect, is Greece and Rome, or in Italy. Athens and Rome, because of the history, the Colosseum.
Cody was at.
Yeah, I know. I saw when he posted a picture of it. That's super jealous. And it's kind of fitting too that he took a picture at the Colosseum, because honestly, the MMA fighters, boxers, they're modern day gladiators.
True.
So
For
gladiators
our entertainment.
for our entertainment, and it's actually kind of
Distract the masses from the politics.
well. See, that's
I'm joking.
yes, that's true. But
true.
funny enough, gladiatorial fighting was a lot like boxing and MMA now. It was never I shouldn't say never. It was very rarely to the death. There was a lot of rules. There was actually referees. What you see in movies and stuff like that is so far from what it actually was like. It's, but it's you want to make it a big spectacle, for the thing or whatever. But there were rules. Usually it was the first blood. The gladiators were kind of like modern day sports figures, where like they did endorsement deals. They tried to get people to come to their oh god, I can't think of it. The group that trained together was like it starts with a D. I can't remember the name of it, but like
a dojo.
Yeah, okay, we'll call it like a dojo,
Like a
but
team,
it was like
team?
called like a dormo or something like that. But it was the guy who owned it trained the gladiators, and he's the one that would get them fights. He was kind of like the promoter, but he had his own like stable and stuff like that. So it was a lot closer to what boxers and MMA fighters do now than what we see in like movies and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think everybody immediately thinks Russell Crowe.
Yeah,
the
but
gladiator,
it
not
wasn't.
like that.
To a point, it kind of was, because they did. A lot of gladiators came from conquered tribes or conquered armies or whatever. But that's because they were new faces. They were fresh warriors, and a lot of the guys knew that these guys knew how to fight, so they wouldn't just immediately die, in the arena. They knew how to fight. They knew how to put on a good show. So
Yeah. But no, we're in fashionable Royal Oak, where we broadcast the Undercard. Which brings us to our first story. Rochelle, put on your headphones. Be part of the show really quick here. First off, you're our expert on Taco Bell.
I am
Okay?
part of the show right now. I'm working on things.
Okay.
I think your mic might be off, Rochelle. I couldn't hear
So
you.
the dailytribune.com, but this is everywhere. It's on the Free Press. It's everywhere, but I think the Daily Tribune's got the best quote. So the concept on Main Street is lots of restaurants, lots of drinking. It's Royal Oak. There's been a Taco Bell cantina on Main Street in Royal Oak since January, but the whole idea behind the cantina was to eventually have alcohol sales, serve slushy margaritas, and craft beers and stuff.
Where is this in Royal Oak?
That's kind of like by
on Main
Mongo
Street.
Barbecue. Yeah, we
Is
kind of
it?
passed it. Yeah.
I've never seen that.
It's like right next to, like 2 doors down from Starbucks.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
I mean, I wasn't looking for it, but I'd never noticed that.
So Rochelle obsessed with Taco Bell. Like, I mean, if it would be her final meal if she was serving like a death sentence. But anyways, Royal Oak has rejected a bid from the owner of the new Taco Bell cantina on Main Street to serve alcohol. City commissioners voted 5-2 Monday to deny the restaurant's plan of operation following a recommendation by the police department against the move to serve alcohol. First off, what? Why? What's the police got? No. Second off, owner Louis Dortch wanted to sell slushy margaritas and local craft beer at the location, which has a seating for about 30 people at 420 South Main Street. His family company, Dortch Enterprises, owns 24 Taco Bells and 30 Subway locations in Michigan. Taco Bell's Cantina restaurants are a newer concept, and there are only 20 of them nationwide. About half of the cantinas have alcohol sales. Dortch's Taco Bell in Royal Oak would have been the first in the state to serve alcohol if the city had approved the move. As much as a novelty as it may be, it's still a Taco Bell, said Commissioner Kyle DeBuck. It's a national fast food chain. I don't expect to be buying drinks there. DeBuck and a majority of the commission said police had valid concerns about the fast food restaurant selling alcohol. It caters to a very young crowd, said Police Chief Corrigan O'Donoghue, adding there are already many liquor license locations in the downtown. We should be selective. A lot of issues is that it's a fast food restaurant. There are 45 businesses with liquor license in the Central Business District. Some city commissioners said they feared other fast foods seeking alcohol service approval from the city if they approved the Taco Bell Cantina request. Dortch has been in business for over 3 decades, but a police report on his effort to serve alcohol drinks noted that he had never run a liquor license establishment before. Dortch has been represented by Royal Oak attorney Jim Razor, a former city commissioner. Before Monday's meeting, officials met with the police chief and offered a number of changes to the operation plans to overcome police objections to alcohol sales at the Taco Bell. Razor said the restaurant was willing to operate under a bistro license to give the city more control, hire security staff on weekends, end alcohol sales at midnight, and hire a manager with experience in running a liquor service business. Average sales among 20 Taco Bell cantinas nationwide are about $1.1 million a year, Dortch said, explaining that alcohol would be a small part of the location's operation. Alcohol sales are about 8% of that, he said. John Leone, owner of Roque Brewery in Royal Oak, was in talks with Dortch to offer Leone's local craft beer for sale at the Taco Bell Cantina. He urged city commissioners to approve the operations plan for the fast food restaurant. This is cool, he said of the Taco Bell Cantina concept. It's forward-thinking, it's very competitive out there, and we have to stay that way. The storefront where Dortch's Taco Bell is on Main Street was vacant for more than 3 years before he had a soft opening there in January, with plenty of media coverage anticipating the restaurant as the first of its kind in Michigan that would serve alcohol. City Commissioner Charlene Douglas said people come to Royal Oak because it's unique, including many of its restaurants that serve alcohol. She said in a restaurant with table service, there are waiters better qualified to serve alcohol to patrons, unlike Taco Bell. I still think this is an establishment run by low-wage people working behind a counter, she said. Well, first off, that's political suicide. Honest to God, Charlene Douglas, city commissioner, said, I still think this is an establishment run by low-wage people working behind a counter, she said. That was her objection to the Taco Bell. So clearly she was one of the 5. How do you say that in modern day times and expect to keep your position, by the way? So lots of things to break down here, right? One, the police objection. What would be the objection to any other place that serves alcohol on Main Street? Can you think of one that would be invalid? I mean, you can't drink and drive from any establishment, so let's rule out drinking and driving. I'm trying. You hate to say this, but I'm going to say it right now. It sounds like Royal Oak trying to keep out a certain class of people in the downtown area.
I'm 100%.
Almost like class warfare.
I am 100% positive that that's exactly what's happening. Royal Oak doesn't want the Royal Oak doesn't want the riffraff. People that frequent Taco Bell are not the kind of clientele, with the exceptions. I'm just saying, this is Royal Oak we're talking about. Okay, so
Are you saying I'm not up to Royal Oak
No.
quality?
I'm saying Royal Oak thinks that you're not up to Royal Oak quality if you frequent Taco Bell, because Royal Oak is what is going on with my headphones here? It's weird. Okay, there we go. Royal Oak has a certain image that they want to project. Trendy, hipstery, all the fashions or whatever. They don't want Taco Bell especially not on Main Street. On the outlying areas.
Taco Bell Cantina, hip?
No, it's still Taco Bell. If they were to call it something else, I guarantee you it would get approved. But because they use the word Taco Bell in the name of the restaurant, they don't want anything to do with it. These people they're probably hoping that by denying them the liquor license, they're going to get out of that spot anyway. He'll give up and he'll move out and move somewhere else, especially on Main Street. Now, on the outlying areas, that's okay because, whatever, you can, your what is it called? Guilty pleasure, go get Taco Bell at 2 a.m. or whatever, and don't let your neighbor see you, that's fine. But they don't want that kind of thing on Main Street. They want the cool, the hipstery, the Starbucks, the Cold Stone, they want the not too trendy kind of places. They want the vape shops, and they want the coffee houses where you can hear jazz, and the bookstores where you can find.
I don't know of any bookstores.
Oh, I know of two.
Sheesh.
But I'm
not talking the used bookstores either.
No, I'm talking used bookstores.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not talking.
Oh, okay, yeah. I know of two.
Ridiculous.
But I'm a big book person, so I seek them out. Now, they're not on Main Street, the Strip, but if you go down some of the side streets, there are bookstores. They're kind of hidden away, but they're still there. They're still on the Main Street area, if you want to call it that. So yeah, I think they denied the liquor license because they want them out of there. They don't want a Taco Bell on Main Street. They want to use it for something else. So they're hoping that maybe this guy, I forget his name.
And then they shouldn't have approved it to begin with in the first place to have the restaurant there.
Yeah, he made no hidden agenda. Like, he kind of said what he.
No, but I think what it was is at first they went, okay, fine. They went, okay, fine, you can do it, because they thought he was going to fail. And then he didn't fail. So, oh man, this keeps going in and out. He didn't fail, so now they're trying to find another way to get rid of him.
Okay, but so the police department had objections, and we don't know what their objections were, but it sounded like he was going to stop at midnight serving. He was going to have security staff. He was going to make it a bistro license, whatever. Mm-hmm. But this is my logic, and I like to think I've gotten ahead in life because I don't think like other people. Taco Bell, more than any place on Main Street, would have less problems with drinking because are you going to hang at a Taco Bell all night? You're going to grab
Yeah.
one. No, you're not.
If you're drinking, you are.
No. No, that's a place
not
to
like it's
grab
like
food and move on
entertainment.
somewhere else. Right. You're going to grab your slushy margarita.
Yeah.
You're going to eat, and then you're going to go on to your next destination.
Well-
Not like bar
Thing is,
A.
you probably can't take it outside though.
Well, no, he had a patio. But I'm saying you might eat in there. I don't think it was going to be Club Cantina where people would drink there all night.
Or-
I think there's more alcohol problems, and I'm not going to name names, but a restaurant where you're going to sit down and pound them.
Well, do you think maybe it's they're worried that people were going to come there already super drunk and then get even worse because of the alcohol?
It
Not-
seemed like
not
the
if they
owner was
close at
trying
midnight.
to. Yeah, it seemed like the owner was trying to curb that.
Yeah. I mean, that's true. I'm just thinking, like, what's a place that people go when they get out of the bar? They go to Taco Bell.
Right, but they're going to be closed.
But they're going to be closed at midnight. Yeah, I didn't think about that. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I hate to say it, but Royal Oak,
I thought it could have been a good starter before the bar.
yeah.
You go in there, you
Go in
grab
there,
a burrito
grab-
real quick.
grab a
you
burrito,
get something
grab
in
a
your
drink,
stomach before
yeah.
you go. Get a starter drink.
Yeah, I know. I mean, that's good logic from a drinking standpoint. I don't know, and I mean, I know Royal Oak. I hate to say it, but Main Street's got some prime realty. I hate to say it, but we know how things go. Could possibly be that the police chief or whoever it was that made that recommendation, he knows somebody that wants that spot, so he denied them the license in the hope that they'll go away. Allegedly, I'm just saying, I'm just saying, but I mean, we know how politics go.
Main Street's Baltic Avenue at best.
No, not anymore. Now it's what's the one, not the one just before Boardwalk and Pork Place, but the one before that.
Here's once again some different thinking, right? Then don't have Eats, Beats, and
Or Speeds and Eats.
yeah, don't have it here. And you know what? Give it to Ann Arbor or a town that's cool. And I've been around the world, like, Ann Arbor's one of the coolest towns in the world because they are so liberal. And that they are... They're not liberal? Are you fucking kidding?
No, I'm saying they're
15.
No, I'm saying that they're the coolest town in the world.
Oh, no, they are. There's not a part of Ann Arbor that I don't walk through in the summertime that I'm not like, this is one of the greatest towns, restaurant-wise, bars-wise.
You and I have very different opinions on Ann Arbor. Very
Really?
different opinions. I can't stand Ann Arbor.
Wow.
I love Michigan, and I love the college, but I don't like the kids that go there.
Okay, but the
And-
restaurants and stuff, the
There-
bars.
Let me. Okay, if I could literally just transport, like, to that place, there are a ton of bars, there are a ton of restaurants that I would love to go to. But actually getting to those places, there's so many times I just want to punch somebody because I can't stand the parking, I can't stand the people, I can't stand the students, I can't stand, like, I just, it frustrates me because they're so...
There's so much positivity in this room right now.
No, I'm just like I love the places that are in Ann Arbor. I just don't like the I don't even know how to describe it. It's not bro-y. It's not even hipstery. It's like a bro hipster kind of vibe, and it rubs me the wrong way. It really does. I just don't like a lot of what I run into when I go down to Ann Arbor.
Okay.
I just it bothers me.
Okay.
But again, I love the restaurants. I love the bars. And like I said, if I could just go there without having to park, without having to walk down the streets.
See, I think their parking's pretty good for a city that has. Figure this out. They take in 100,000 people on a Saturday and still find a way to park everybody. But the golf course is a huge part of that.
That's fine, but I
I
still.
think their parking's pretty good downtown. You're not going to get free. But where are you going to get free in any city that's worth something?
Yeah, but I
in
think
the
the most
world?
we've paid is like maybe $7 to park
Yeah.
for like hours and hours.
But we're way off subject here. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
I'm just saying a liberal hip city like Ann Arbor, like I just don't understand why Royal Oak. I mean, the big thing with the Arts Beats and Eats, right, is all they do is write parking tickets. It's just a revenue generator.
Oh yeah.
You know that, like, you know, they.
But
they
can
make
you
use
imagine
a
if
lot.
they did Arts Beats and Eats in Ann Arbor? Or I mean,
Yeah, it'd be like the Hash Bash, or it would be like something really fun in Ann Arbor, or the Naked Mile before they stopped. Technology took over, and the Naked Mile was no longer ever going to be allowed.
It could be spread
best.
over so much different areas, as opposed to like
just
what
all
they do here.
concentrated in one area.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean,
Ann Arbor has 3 main streets, and
I know,
mean,
no,
there's
I
a
know.
main street.
No,
but
I
then
know.
there's also 3 streets just like that.
I understand.
The billiards, the bars. I just think as I get older, I even appreciate Ann Arbor more. And then
See,
a lot of the people,
I'm exactly the opposite.
but the lot of people you're talking about don't go to the places that me and Rochelle go to anymore. Like
Right.
we don't go to student places.
I'm not, and that's what I'm saying.
Right.
If I could just go to those places without having to go through other places, I would be fine. But it's getting to those places that it just I get so angry and frustrated sometimes.
So my theory, if this guy even would ever hear this, is I would take my idea and I'd move it to Ann Arbor, which would embrace it, probably think it's fun, and you still got to
the
be 21
cantina.
to drink, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Do a drink minimum too. Who cares? 3 drink minimum, 2 drink minimum. I'm telling you, no one. She's the biggest Taco Bell fan over here. She doesn't want to spend more than an hour in there. Like, I mean, I really think this police objection is so phony. Because no one's gonna. It's not.
Yeah, I mean-
even Mongo Barbecue, which we like,
Yeah.
has a shelf life. We're gonna find a bar that we can drink at. Like I just the police objection is the thing, and then I can't believe the lady said low wage workers. I mean,
Yeah, that's
whoa, whoa. What do you think the rest of the waitresses and waiters are? I mean, you're attacking a basic working class because waiters and waitresses.
well, no, those are 2 different classes of people.
I still think they're working class, and I think you were attacking working class.
No, I think she's attacking fast food workers, not waitresses and
Not
waitresses.
very cool.
I know. I'm saying I don't think she was attacking food service industry people. I think she was attacking specifically fast food workers. Taco Bell, McDonald's, Burger King, like places like that.
But when me and you met each other, Midtown, right? Back in the day, right?
Yeah, 3rd Street. Yeah.
Well, tell me, everybody that was a waiter, everybody that was a waitress, everyone was a bartender. In those areas, right? Were working class.
Students mostly.
Okay, but were on that same level as what she was discriminating against.
No, I disagree.
I think a lot of them were artists and stuff, struggling to get by, or students and stuff.
What I'm saying is, bartenders, waitresses, waiters at like bars, at restaurants, stuff like that. That's different from fast food workers. You know, those are 2 different. I mean, they're not. But I'm saying is, I'm trying to put my mindset into what she probably meant, not what she said, but what she probably meant. I think she was attacking specifically fast food workers, not food service industry people, just fast food workers.
You better, I know, and she better never run her credit card anywhere at a fast food restaurant because you're gonna get the biggest loogie in your Whopper that you've ever gotten. Like, I mean,
If people recognize the name, I mean, she's a small town. She's a councilwoman, right?
city council,
City council, whatever. So
But-
honestly, people are not going to recognize her name. She's not that important.
Somebody that is
But-
much more famous than we are on this network, and I'm not talking about Bob and Dave, has picked up this story. He's actually
Nobody is
on
more
TV.
famous in this network than us and Bob and Dave.
No. There
just
is somebody, and he's picked it up and has
Yeah.
run with it.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it could really backfire.
But what I'm
for her.
saying is, it's not going to probably.
And he has a food show
It's
on the
not going to.
network.
It's not going to affect her now. I don't think, but I think it would affect her if she tried to move up because
There's
as
nowhere
soon
to
as.
move from city council.
Well, yeah, there is. You go to mayor, maybe state representative. But I know some people that have gone from council to state representative.
Okay.
But what I'm saying is now it's in because of technology, because of the internet, because of whoever this guy is, if she decides to run for a higher office, somebody will find this, and she'll be done before it even starts.
All right. Moving on to our next subject, and before we get into some hand combat and stuff, Jack White played Little Caesars Arena the other day.
Did he?
Yep.
Cool.
And so this was the biggest arena.
Just Jack, not Meg too? Wasn't
No,
always
man,
Stripes?
that's been gone for a while.
No, I know, but I know that sometimes they still collaborate.
No, she wasn't there. But so the big deal was it was a phone-free concert. You put your
Yes,
phone in
I
the
heard.
con-
I did hear about that. Yeah.
And to tell you the truth, like, I didn't think it was going to go smooth. And I didn't think on the way out it would be smooth because I've heard about problems at comedy shows, especially the comedians doing it. But I thought it was very refreshing
Yeah.
to not have access to your phone and be forced to watch the show. And it was neat watching people walk around the concourse. Rochelle was there too. Actually having to talk, interact, either eat food or go watch the show if you wanted to. This thing was slammed. I don't know what the official attendance was, but at first I
Where
thought...
was that at? Oh, Little Caesars.
Arena.
Yeah, Little Caesars. Yeah.
At first I thought nowhere
Let me see,
near a
maybe I can
sellout.
find out.
They had said a sellout, and I was like, nowhere near a sellout. And then it just kept filling and filling and filling until he went on at like 9:30, and it was packed in there, 9 or 9:30.
Let's see if I can find it.
Rochelle, what do you think? No phone. I thought it was cool. I actually want more concerts to do it, like going forward.
It was cool because it wasn't people taking selfies. It wasn't people videotaping it and looking through a tiny screen. It was, you had to feel it.
Mm-hmm.
It was awesome.
And the opening bands
Yeah.
were loud, and then
Yeah,
Jack
they
White
were.
came on, and he was even fucking louder. And
I can't
But he
get
was an
any.
easy loud.
yeah, Jack White, amazing show. The only bad thing about the Jack White concert is I didn't get to experience the earthquake that I would, clearly, because of where I lived.
No, but see, I
Um,
told you, I don't know if I felt it or not, or if that was just...
There's no way you would have
Just the
felt it if you were in a
music.
concert. I was gonna say, because of the music, the vibration. It was probably.
Well, I looked at Elijah and I go, "Did you feel that?" Or it was Aiden, and I go, "Did you feel that?" I go, "Did you feel how awesome that was?"
Yeah. I was gonna say, because the vibrations from the speakers themselves were probably greater than the earthquake itself. I felt it without realizing I felt it. I was home and I was on the couch, and I thought like a dump truck like barreled down the street because it just went whoa, whoa, whoa. And I'm like, I heard like the window shatter, like not shatter but rattle. I was like, what is that? And I looked outside and I didn't see a
Nothing there.
truck anywhere. I'm like, whoa, I wonder what that was. And I found out it was an earthquake. But
Earthquake. Waiting
Um,
on an earthquake.
I,
That's my Don Johnson heart.
When we were overseas, there was an earthquake that was, I think, right around the same magnitude. And the only way that we knew it happened was you've seen that meme where the lawn chair is falling over.
Yeah.
That was literally how we knew there was an earthquake. One of the lawn chairs fell over.
They use that for windstorms.
I know.
Too. They'd be like, windstorm
We will rebuild.
2017, we will rebuild.
Yeah, exactly.
Hurricane.
Yeah,
we will
hurricane. Yeah.
rebuild.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. So the Pearl Jam, which is one of my favorite bands of all time.
Oh, what was that? I wanna look it up.
And I don't know if this is Eddie Vedder or not, or if it was Jeff or someone in the band. But he had written like
Jeff.
Jeff Ament, basically wrote something one time about like,
I was in singles.
basically wrote something for their Riot Act tour, and it was in the program, and it basically was, any other night something else could be going on here, a basketball game, a hockey game, but not tonight. Tonight we're connected by music, and we're connected, and we're going to feed off you and you feed off that. And that's what you got from the Jack White concert.
Right.
It literally felt like he didn't, I'm not 100% sure, but I don't think he had a set list. I think he was feeding off the crowd and then would go tell his band what to play and then would come back and play it. You don't get that with phones, and it was neat to see the last few years he's been just playing under blue lights apparently. The whole stage is blue. It's not a lot of stage.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a lot of video. Just very basic, like
Yeah.
VCR video-ish kind of things in the back. So you're really connected to the music, and it was just neat to see a sea of people responding back to his energy, and people not like worried about doing cameras and having their moment taken, you know? Because at the end of the day, real good memories. We just watched a movie that said this. You don't need that to remember. And then I started
What was
thinking.
the movie?
We just saw the one with John Cena. The
Blockers.
Blockers.
Oh, cock blockers?
Yeah. No, it's just called Blockers.
No,
I think.
but it's,
Yeah.
He wants a picture with his daughter, and then
Yeah.
he says in a moment, he's like, I don't need this to remember this. And then I started thinking of all the concerts I had been to, and there's not a lot of them I have pictures at, but I still remember the concert. So Jack White's theory on you don't need that
right.
is perfect, so you connect with it. So I actually want to see more things
Well,
do this.
now on the flip side, there are a lot of
Please,
bands.
more.
Well, there's a lot of bands that are actually using that encourage people to use their phones because they're using augmented reality during their concerts.
What is that? Explain that to our crowd.
Okay, so basically augmented reality is you download an app, and the bands sometimes have an app that you download like before the concert. It'll say download this app. You bring up the app during the concert, and then you point the app at the stage or whatever it is they tell you to point it at, and then something that's not actually there in real life shows up on your phone, whether it be a different person or whatever. So it augments reality. It's adding to the reality. Maroon 5 does it. Starset does it. I just heard, I think, Aerosmith is doing it.
By the way, these are all bands that need help because their stage performance.
Well, no, I'm not. But see, like the Maroon 5 one, I think it's.
Can't stand Maroon 5.
Yeah, well, but Maroon 5, I think it's during the concert. If you download the app, I'm trying to remember because I heard about this. If you do the augmented reality thing during the concert. Like it puts them all in like some other kind of like outfit or something. I don't remember how it is. I know Aerosmith, if you when you're waiting in line to go in there, they have a poster. If you do the augmented reality, you'll see them with the background of the poster, but it's video from one of their old concerts. So it looks like you're watching a little mini concert in front of the banner.
So you get to see old Steven Tyler and old or young Joe Perry,
yes, exactly.
Instead of the 70-year-olds.
Right, exactly. So I don't know. I mean, I it's kind of funny because I know where, like you're saying, I'd like to see more concerts without the phones or whatever.
I would love to.
I would too. I try not to. I'm guilty of it, but I try not to take too many photos or videos while I'm doing, watching a concert or whatever, because I want to enjoy the concert. And it bugs me more than anything else when the person in front of me is holding up their phone and I'm watching the concert through the screen of their phone. Like, that bugs the crud out of me. On the flip side of it, the techie side of me really likes the idea of augmented reality concerts. Like,
You want to see a hologram Tupac.
maybe not hologram Tupac, but so I'll give you an example. Like, how cool would it be to have, let's say, a band, let's say Pearl Jam, okay? They do a augmented reality concert, and one of the things that they do with the augmented reality concert is they take old archival footage of like Elvis Presley. They do one of Elvis's songs, and when you do the augmented reality, it looks like Elvis is actually on stage with the band doing the song that they're doing. And they use his vocals, mix it in so it sounds like him too. What's cool about it, if you do augmented reality, is your phone will capture whatever's on your screen. So if you were to take a picture of it at that point in time, it would look like you took a picture with Pearl Jam and Elvis Presley on stage.
Yeah, it sounds like way too much work for me to do while I'm at a concert.
Not my cup of tea, but I can see where people would like it.
I'm just saying, like, I would love both. But the augmented reality, if they're going to do it, it needs to be like something wow. It can't just be, you do this and like little fireworks will pop up or something. No. Just don't do the phone then. But if you want to do something epic like that, then I would be all for it because that'd be a really cool thing to do.
Now, the crazy thing about me saying that I want to see more bands do this, because I thought there was a connection Jack White had with the audience. Mind you, Pearl Jam back in the day, to get ahead of bootleggers, because their bootlegging thing, they allowed tape recorders before any bands did. You could bring tape recorders in to record the show.
Yep.
Then they started releasing their own bootlegs for $10 and stuff. But so the Detroit show was very special a few years back, and one of the coolest things I've ever seen done is they took all the cell phone footage that they could find, and a fan put it together, and you have the complete concert from different people's viewpoints of a camera. Now, you wouldn't be able to have that with Jack White's thing, and it's the complete concert shot from a million different ways.
Right, yeah. Now, that's pretty cool,
but
yeah.
It had their
Audio.
Their audio.
Right.
Their audio. So it's crystal clear
cool,
audio.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
See, again,
You wouldn't have that.
the techie version of me loves that idea.
Yeah, so like
You know?
you have a million DPs out there, any footage, and it's to the real audio that is on the CD. So
Right.
and it's synced up perfect. So when he's singing here, go
Right.
to another camera, it's synced up perfect. So that would be missing.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying. I've never been in, you two with. That's why I don't like stadium shows, because in a stadium show, you're 60,000 people, right?
Right.
So you can't just be up there with the guitar playing,
Right.
because those people can't see you so far. So the stages have to be bigger, the
Right.
production has to
Yeah.
be bigger. It's typically why I don't like stadium shows,
Right.
is because there's just such a disconnect.
Yeah.
You know?
You want something a lot more intimate.
Right.
Yes.
Where you can connect with the artists and kind of feed off their energy. I've never been to a stadium show. I saw you two at Pontiac Silverdome on Halloween, and their stage was huge,
Yeah.
and it was a Pop Mart thing. I've seen
remember.
Dave Matthews Band
Yeah.
at Meadowbrook when he was starting off, but then also saw him at Comerica Park. It's tough to do a stadium show.
Yeah. I was going to say, I
And
think,
connect.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think one of my favorite, like I saw, like way back in the day, I saw Billy Joel. I don't remember what place it was at. I saw Garth Brooks. I saw the Rolling Stones at the Old Tiger Stadium. But I have to say, for me, and not just because they're one of my favorite bands, my favorite concert I've ever been to was Bare Naked Ladies at the Fox Theater. Okay. And the reason that I loved Bare Naked Ladies at the Fox Theater was because it was very much like, I mean, we were 7 rows back, so I mean, it was awesome to begin with. But it was a much more intimate crowd, and because Bare Naked Ladies is very much audience participation.
The Kraft macaroni and cheese.
Well, there's more than just that.
No, I know.
mean, yeah, but like that kind of thing, it's that kind of venue where it's a little bit more intimate, and there was just a lot of interaction with the crowd because A, they could do that because of the size of the theater, but B, because they actually do engage the crowd a lot more than some of the other bands. You know what I'm saying? They like audience participation.
Right.
And so that was by far my favorite concert I've ever been to. I mean, and I saw them like way back when they were starting off. Like I used to go into Canada and watch them at little like house shows and stuff. I mean, that was great. But the Fox Theater, there was just something magical about it. Was big enough that it was like a large crowd, but it was still small enough that it was intimate, you know?
Right. And there's something also we talked about is about seeing a band in their peak.
Right,
and,
yes.
And Jack White could not be more at his peak right now. I mean, he's musically right now at equivalent to in his prime. So to see him in his prime, in his biggest arena, a block away from where he went to school, Cass Tech, even though that building's gone. It was special. It was a good night, you know. And you know what? I like bands that do different set lists. And actually, we had, speaking of good seats, the people at Joe Louis Arena gave really good seats to Garth Brooks one night. And I think we were row 5 or something like that. But we knew Garth Brooks played the same set list every night. And we had tickets the next night. And we were like, you know, because it's the same set list. Pearl Jam, and from what I can see, Jack White, and I'm going to introduce you to a website you're going to love. You can even look to see what Bare Naked Ladies played. Setlist.fm. Greatest website if you're a music fan. Just you go and you can see what they play every night. Search bands, search the day. You can go back and look at setlist. But Pearl Jam has never played the same show.
What's it called?
Ever. Setlist.fm. Or setlist.com or setlist.
No, it's FM.
Yeah, it's setlist.fm.
All right. I want to see if it pulls up here.
Oh, it will. Somebody.
I want to make sure I typed it in correctly.
Yep. But that's the great thing about Pearl Jam. You could have 5 tickets for 5 different shows in a row.
And they're going to be all different shows.
It would be all different shows. And that, to me, is a true musician.
Mm-hmm.
Bruce Springsteen does it. They change up their set list the way they feel that night. Like, literally, Eddie Vedder goes into a dressing room and kind of feels what the city feels and kind of feels the mood that the band feels in, and he comes out, and that's what they perform, what worked in sound check, what didn't. And that was the cool thing. I really do think, and I don't know how we'd know this, I don't think Jack White had, he went back to the band and talked to him a lot. I think he was feeding off what the crowd would give him. And there was even a point in the concert where he asked the crowd, do you mind if I slow it down for just a second? Because he was just hitting, it was a fast-paced concert. Everything was rocking. And then he did one slow song. Then he finished rocking out. My theory, though, on the LCA being a very quiet building was proven correct again. As I said before, the Let's Go Wings chant, stuff like that can't get started in that building. The acoustics are built horribly. So he finished with Seven Nation Army, and I thought it was very weird that the crowd wasn't, you know the part, the oh, because I've seen him before as the White Stripes and stuff, and the crowd does it. The next night he plays Milwaukee, the crowd is crazy in it. It's just such a dead arena for sound. We couldn't hear that, could we? It was just the rocking part.
I did, but
not
it was
loud.
No, it wasn't loud.
Not where 22,000 people.
And we were close enough to where we could have.
You got the set list from that night? Isn't it amazing? That website's amazing.
Well, the internet just rebooted itself. So what am I looking up?
You would look up Bare Naked Ladies.
Okay, but give me so artists.
Look up Bare Naked Ladies.
Right, so hold on, I'm going to do artists.
So Setlist FM, everybody, while he's doing this, is a website in which people record the set list of the shows as it happens. I like to go on it before I go to a show to get an idea of what the band is kind of doing, what they've played the night before. But it's also cool if you go back and reminisce from your childhood, because people have gone back and logged it, and you remember, and you're like, oh my God, I did see him play that, or I did see him play that.
Let's see. Give me a year for the Bare Naked Ladies.
Well, when did you see
1997.
1997, okay.
That was the stunt tour.
Okay. Bare Naked Ladies of the Palace of Auburn Hills, 1997.
I had fourth row.
Let's do this one. Clicked on it. Okay, the set list. Grade 9, Enid, Stomach versus Heart, It's All Been Done, Hello City, Shoebox, Never Is Enough, Life in a Nutshell, Straw Hat and Old Dirty Hank, Fight the Power, Public Enemy cover, Alternative Girlfriend, These Apples, This Is It, Jane, Break Your Heart, Crazy, Box Set, Great Provider, The Old Apartment, Blame It on Me, Be My Yoko Ono, If I Had $1 Million, Autumn Sang, Robert Burns, If I Had $1 Million Continued, Bare Naked Rap, Encore, Lovers in a Dangerous Time, Brian Wilson, and You Will Be Waiting.
Now tell me that site ain't cool. You can go back.
That's pretty cool.
That was before Stunt.
That had to be before Stunt.
The Stunt came out in the summer that year because
that was December 31st,
at a record store.
1997. So let's see. I'm gonna go back. No. All right. Let's see. Let's
They
go.
They did a record release party at a record store, like in Farmington Hills or something.
Okay.
So
that
as
day.
Jimmy's going through this, you can
Yeah.
go back into the past and look at shows you might have went to that you might have forgot the set list to. Like I said, it's good. Say you have Jimmy Buffett tickets this year or something, you can kind of get an idea of what Jimmy Buffett's going to be
All right.
playing that year.
Let's give me another artist.
Oh God, Pearl Jams are crazy, dude. They're
Pearl Jam.
yeah.
Okay. So hold on. Give me a year.
Let's go back to 1991. Blind
1991.
Pig, Ann
Okay.
Arbor, and just see what
All right. Let's see.
what we
Pearl
were.
Jam. Let's see. I gotta find.
Blind Pig, Ann Arbor.
I don't know. Do you think they played Even Flow?
Yeah.
Do you remember about what time of the year it was?
That was March or April.
All right. So I'm gonna go. I gotta. That's. Oh,
If
wow,
not, you
shit.
can do 1992 Lollapalooza at DTE.
All right,
or-
hold
or
on.
Pine Knob.
You said you
Great
think it
radio.
was.
I thought it was March or April.
All right. Let's see. Keep talking. I'm gonna see if I can
Oh,
find.
no
this.
problem. If not, look up Lollapalooza 1992. It was I think 7 or 8 songs they got to get in, and then Soundgarden was after them. I think it was 6 or 7, 8 songs. God, who would have thought they would be just as big as they fucking were? They were the 3rd band I think that played that day at Lollapalooza 92. No one knew. Like, I mean, just, and they stole the show. They had like the morning set, and they were just that much bigger than anybody else.
Who's that other band? I'm trying to think of their name.
There's nothing from Michigan for that time period.
Someone didn't log it. Then go to 92 Lollapalooza.
92.
Yeah, that would be Pine Knob.
Okay, so hold on. I gotta go. Pearl Jam
1992.
1992 Lollapalooza. Oh, there it goes. Pearl Jam Lollapalooza.
Open book
Brazil.
release.
Hold on. I gotta go back. 92. At where?
Pine Knob. No one put it in yet.
No,
So
it's not.
there are some incomplete people where
Wait,
people
hold
haven't
on.
logged it.
I gotta go back. This is 92 Lollapalooza, but hold on. I gotta go back. Hold on.
Gotta go back to school now. Oh,
Pro Jam at Lollapalooza. No, that's Minnesota.
back to school.
All right, hold on. Florida, Georgia, Pennsylvania. Nope. No.
So it's not
We're
on
still. What time of the year was that?
Summer, June, July, something.
Okay, so I'm not back far enough yet. Oh, there it is. Pearl Jam at Pine Knob Music Theater, Clarkson, Michigan. Here we go. All right. Porch. Why Go? Deep. Jeremy. Even Flow. Breath. State of Love and Trust. Alive and Once. That was their set list. That's pretty cool.
Yep.
That's pretty cool. Yeah.
So you can always go do it. Do you got what's on tap? You want to go to our only break for the show? or you wanna do
let's
what's-
go to break because I have to go get my paperwork out of my car. I forgot to bring it in
No
here.
worries. And I am drinking, what was it called? Angry Beaver Stout or something? It's actually pretty good
I
from
don't
Falling Down Beer
remember.
Company.
Sure.
We will be back in a few. Once again, that site's setlist.fm. If you're a music fan, go check it out and just see what Neil Diamond played in 1978. Maybe Holy Night in the Hollywood Bowl or something. But I'll talk to everyone in a few minutes. night, everybody, and if you're listening to the podcast, this is for the last week of April. Jimmy's going to do What's on Tap.
You got the audio there, Rochelle?
Dude, I hear it.
All right, there we go. All right. This is What's on Tap, sponsored by Falling Down Beer Company. April 26th at Tokyo, Japan, we have Takeshi Ino versus Yuki Nanaka, 12 rounds for the IBF Junior Middleweight Eliminator. April 27th at Manchester, England, we have the Ultimate Boxer one-night welterweight tournament, 3-round fights, quarterfinals. Drew Brown versus Jimmy Cooper, Tom Young versus Ben Eland, and Casey Benjamin versus Sam Evans, Isaac McLeod versus Andy Kramer. April 28th, Philadelphia on ESPN, we have Jesse Magdalena versus Isaac Dogbo. 12 rounds for Magdalone's WBO junior featherweight title. At New York on HBO, we have Daniel Jacobs versus Masik Sulecki. 12 rounds for the WBA middleweight eliminator. We have Gerald Big Baby Miller versus Johan Duhaupas. 12 rounds for the WBA heavyweight eliminator.
Go Miller.
And we have Katie Taylor versus Victoria Bustos. 10 rounds for the WBA IBF women lightweight title unification. Moving on to MMA. April 26th, we have Megden Fighting 3, Serbia versus Russia. I just thought that was kind of cool. And April 28th, Bellator 198, Fedor versus Mir. And that is the Allstate Arena in Rosemont, Illinois. And that's What's on Tap, sponsored by Falling Down Beer Company.
Rosemont, Illinois, which is basically Chicago O'Hara Airport.
It's basically Chicago.
It's basically Chicago. It's an
We got 100. We have 106 miles to Chicago. We got a half pack of cigarettes, full tank of gas. It's dark, and we're wearing sunglasses.
What you do is you go north down. So you pass Chicago on the right, and then you veer off to the west, and then you run into it in O'Hara Airport out there. But yeah, so that's basically Chicago.
By the way, I forgot to tell you guys this. So you remember when I drove out to Wisconsin for that job interview, right?
Correct.
Wisconsin. So I drove through Chicago on the way there, and
passed it on 94, or actually through it, Lake Shore Drive.
I went around. Okay. Chicago. On my way back, I stopped and I visited with my friend who lives in Chicago. I was coming back, and every toll that I saw that I don't know how to describe it. I was driving, and it seemed like all the toll booths were you exited, and there was a toll booth. Mm-hmm. So I just kept driving. About a month ago, I got a bill in the mail. I missed 7 tolls. I had to pay $80 because I missed 7 $2 tolls. I'm like, but here's the thing though. I never saw the toll. There's nothing saying that you have to pull off the freeway, hit the toll, then get back onto the freeway. I just stayed on the freeway waiting to hit a toll when I got off. But apparently you have to keep going off and back on, going off and back on, going off and back on. So honestly, that is ridiculous. It was ridiculous. I'm like, if I knew I had to hit those tolls, I would have hit them. But there was nothing on there saying that you have to pull off every single time you saw a toll. It was ridiculous. They do it on purpose. They do it on purpose because they know out of towners like me are gonna miss the tolls, so they get $80 for missing a bunch of tolls. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, they do know because obviously I lived in Chicago for a little bit, so we've taken the toll road. We've gone a lot because we're Cubs fans in Chicago, but we've only taken the toll once, and that was because 94 was backed up. You remember? Yeah. And I'm like, I'm going to take the toll. You never take the toll.
But here's the thing. I didn't know.
You go
I literally just put in my GPS.
And that has to be a big bill because their tolls aren't cheap. Like it was $27 from when we got on an.
It would have been $14 if I had actually paid the tolls, but it ended up being $80 because I didn't pay them. But here's the thing: from where I was, this was the only route that I could go.
Yeah.
It didn't give me an option to go somewhere else. It said this is how you have to go to get out of here. So I didn't know any better.
Was your friend worth it?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, she's my best friend.
I'm just playing.
I know she's one of my best friends in the world. Her and her boyfriend Aaron. And I rarely actually get to Chicago to visit with them. They come to Michigan a lot, and the group of friends get together every time. Her and another friend who now lives in California. They used to both live in Chicago.
Right.
When they would come in town. It was because it's for the holidays or a special event or whatever. But rarely do I actually get to go to Chicago to visit with them. So it was nice to see their apartment, and actually it's a condo. They bought it, but it's an apartment. Like I don't get condos like that are stacked on top of one another like that. Like I know it exists, but I'm like, if you're gonna,
They have them in Trenton.
I know, but I'm like, if you're gonna buy something, like you buy a house, you don't buy what is essentially an apartment and call it a condo.
Different if they're in Chicago.
Yeah, that's what I'm
real
saying.
estate's a premium.
No, I understand that. I'm saying, like, to me, like, I can't, if I'm going to buy something, it's going to be a house that I don't have to live with somebody beneath me or above me. Like, I just can't, like, if I'm paying good money for something, I want it mine. The whole building is mine.
Right.
Not share it with a bunch of other people, because you don't know who you're going to get as neighbors.
Right.
I mean, yeah, you don't know who you're going to get as neighbors when you buy a house either, but it's not like they live above or below you. You know what I'm saying?
As Seth Rogen found out when Zac Efron brought a frat house in Neighbors. True story. I believe it was based off. No, it wasn't based off a true story. No, I was just saying the $80 thing, because less than 10 people I would probably spend $80. The good news is, Jimmy, I'd spend $80 on you. But Rochelle,
I mean, I didn't intend to spend $80, but I mean, there wasn't much I could do at that point in time.
If you're new to the show, there's a few things you need to know about me as a host. One, I like to talk about the weather. It probably shows my age, but I like to talk about the weather.
Oh, boy.
I like to talk about the
Two,
weather.
if I don't have to get out of my pajamas and leave the house, I won't leave the house, and I won't get out of my pajamas.
That's not exclusive to you, Brad.
I'll just leave the house in my pajamas.
3, I don't like people besides old people and children, and those people I care about, but then I don't like you. So, like, if I talk to you, I'm not going to say, like, you should feel honored or anything, but it's really a small circle. Rochelle will tell you. Like, I really hate people. No, she knows. She's laughing because it's true.
That's true.
Some of my friends I've had forever, but I'm just, when you said $80.
I hate people, too. I mean, for the most part.
So those are the rules. We'll add to them as we go along. But yes, the pajama rule.
I think
I love to talk the weather.
Yeah,
I'm obsessed with it.
I think the pajama thing's a pretty common thing, not just you, Brad. Honestly,
how many cities do you have on your phone where you check the weather?
Yeah, but did you go visit your lawyer in pajamas today? Because I did that. I Mark Zuckerberg today.
I was working today.
Okay, so I went and saw my lawyer in pajamas.
That's fine.
Michigan pajama pants.
Pajama pants.
Well, I can't go anywhere in my pajamas because my pajama bottoms.
Nope. I don't want to know.
They're holy, or show something, or you're hung.
Or they're not there.
No. I have dorm pants. But yeah, they have like a tear in the bottom. Dorm pants. They're like flannel type, not flannel, but like just look up dorm pants. They're
pajama pants.
But they're not. But they're called dorm pants.
They're called pajama pants.
Well, no.
You're the only person I've ever heard the
pajama pants are part of a set.
No, they're not.
No, there's nothing that ever matches.
Ever in our house.
Oh.
I have one pair of pajamas that matches. You just
well, see, here's the thing. So I used to have a ton of scrub bottoms that I would use as pajama bottoms. But they all disappeared on me. So if I was wearing my scrub if I was wearing my scrub bottoms, I would go out in the scrub bottoms because it just looks like I came from work or a hospital or whatever.
Which is gross, by the way.
Yeah.
If you leave the hospital in your scrubs, Don't
Yeah.
you come near me.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
God knows
I'm
when
gonna
they're on
hug. I'm gonna hug all over you.
So disgusting.
Well, what are you supposed to do? They don't have lockers for you to change.
Like, should.
Bathroom.
I'm yeah.
Put on my regular clothes
It was
before
actually.
I walk out.
You would actually get more diseases going into that bathroom than you would just wearing your scrubs out. But
I'm
anyways,
not wearing my scrubs into my house.
yeah.
There's
But
no way.
anyways, so yeah, I wouldn't wear my pajama. I can't wear my pajama bottoms because they have a big tear in one of the legs. So,
Oh,
but I would.
Not in the crotch, because
No.
But so back to.
But I would.
The crazy thing about my friends though is that really, I have a really good ability of just touching base with friends and us connecting pretty good, and then there's a few that are like in the inner circle that I talk to like daily. And then, like, me and you have known each other for a while. Me and Cody have a great relationship because I think it's the same situation where it's like, we just, I don't know. You know where they say you can't, you can't have enough friends? I totally disagree with that concept. I'd rather spend it with my family. And, I mean, you really have to put, you know who pushed his way in? Mike from the Tornado Show, dude.
Mike Reisner.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he kicked in the door, and he's part of it. Like, but, I mean, it's not easy. You know what
To
I'm
be
saying?
your friend?
There's
To
not
let
enough
people
time.
in. There isn't enough.
Yeah.
Top Rope Review,
Yeah.
Tabitha,
Josh.
Yeah,
and
and
Josh,
Josh,
they've
yeah.
become friends, too.
Yeah.
But, no, I don't, I realized somebody posted the other day, this was brilliant, how much, let me see if I can find this really quick.
All right,
'Cause
so
it's
in the
worth it.
meantime, are you excited for Infinity War?
Absolutely. I already have tickets. I'm going with a friend Thursday night. We're seeing it at 9:30.
Okay, so
Tomorrow night, I'm making myself go see Black Panther.
that's our dilemma. We haven't seen it.
Okay, I'm going tomorrow. Well, it'd be way out of the way for you guys to come to where I'm going to go see it, but it's still in the theaters.
I know.
So tomorrow night, I'm forcing myself to go see Black Panther, no matter how late it is. I have to go see it because I have to see it before the Infinity War.
That was my question.
Yes.
Are you making it a point to do that
Yes.
before? Because he's like, well, we can just watch it
No.
later. I'm like, no.
No, because there are going to be references to Black Panther
Exactly.
in Infinity War. There will be characters
Exactly.
in Infinity War that will have been introduced during Black Panther. You have to see every movie that has ever come out since Iron Man.
Okay, so I haven't seen a Spider-Man Homecoming,
See, you got to see it.
and I haven't seen Thor Dark World.
Okay, Thor: Dark World you could get away
But I've
with.
seen Ragnarok.
Okay, Thor: Dark World you can get away without seeing because it didn't really change anything. It was just kind of
Just got rid of What's-Her-Face.
It got rid of What's-Her-Face, and actually, no, you do need to see Dark World because it introduces one of the Infinity Stones.
Well, see, I know where they all are.
Okay, so where are they?
Well, one is on Vision.
Yes, that's the Mind Stone.
One, the Collector has two.
No, the Collector thought he had two.
Okay, so I
Well,
know
yeah,
he's
no,
got
actually, he might. No, he doesn't. I don't think he has any of them. He might have one.
one. Damn it! I have a magazine. It's in my.
I mean, he
phone.
might have the Time Stone.
Let me finish this thought really quick, and we'll go back
Yeah,
to
go ahead.
there. Somebody posted this. This isn't mine, but this is so true. Your Facebook, Twitter, Instagram friends list is this: 15% of people who care, 30% of people who are just nosy, 40% of people who don't really know you, 15% of people who no longer are logging in. That is probably pretty.
Yeah,
fucking accurate,
no,
dude.
yeah,
Like,
probably.
about 15% of people that are actually
Yeah.
real friends on there. Okay, back to Infinity. I
Yeah.
saw it and I thought it was great.
Okay, so.
Observation.
Okay, so I think the Time Stone, the Tesseract, is the one that the Collector has.
Okay.
The Mind Stone is in Vision.
Vision.
The Time Stone, Doctor Strange has or knows where it's at.
It's in his.
It's in the necklace, the
medallion.
Eye of Agamotto or whatever.
Um,
The Power Stone is the one that the Guardians
of the
had,
Galaxy.
but that is in Novacore.
right.
Novacore has it.
So then there's one
No,
more.
I take it back. No, because the Time Stone is in Asgard. The Time Stone, the Tesseract, was in the basement of the thing in Asgard, so the Collector didn't have any of them.
No, the Collector has one. I just read this. Damn it. I'm
Okay,
gonna be
anyways,
Brad.
but so the one that you're missing is the Ether, the red one.
There's one in Black Panther.
That must be the missing one then, because there was one that hadn't been introduced yet, and that must be the missing one. I haven't seen Black Panther, so I can't say for certain.
Right? No. I just read it somewhere that that's where
Yeah.
the
But
6 Infinity Stones. Okay.
but the red one, the ether, was the one that was introduced in the Dark World, in Thor Dark World. Maybe oh no, I think they have another one in Asgard then too, because I think they have that one too. I don't know. So many things have changed that I'm not sure where some of these things ended up.
Well, the Tesseract in Ragnarok.
Yeah. Was in the basement, in the Asgardian Palace's basement,
so
yes.
Loki has it. The Mind Stone and Loki Scepter.
Yeah, that's the one that was the,
That's now in
that's
Vision.
Vision, right?
The Ether.
That's the one that's
The
in,
Reality Stone.
that's the one that was introduced in Thor Dark World.
Collector.
Oh, that's right, because the gruff guy and the girl gave it to the Collector at the end of Dark World. That's right. I forgot about that. That was an after credit scene.
So, and Thanos steals the power.
The Power Stone, the one that was in Nova Corps.
And the Time Stone is in
The Eye of Agamotto.
right, and
Yeah.
the Soul Stone, which we have not seen yet.
Is introduced in Black Panther. No, because I think they were using it at the end of Guardians of the Galaxy 2 to create Adam Warlock. That thing that you saw at the very
Adam.
end. Yeah, Adam. Yeah, Adam Warlock.
Yeah,
I think that's the Soul Stone.
he said there aren't any in Black Panther, but
Okay.
Thanos has the Soul Stone.
Okay, so he must have stole it from them before the event, after the
Says
events
the
or
Soul
whatever.
Stone won't even be in Infinity War. It won't show up till Captain Marvel.
Oh, well, Captain Marvel comes out before.
Says next year.
I was going to say Captain Marvel comes out before the second part of Infinity Wars. So
And this was published today.
yeah, so that's probably the Soul Stone will probably be introduced in Captain Marvel, which then she will also be a part of Infinity Wars when it continues in
Right, in the next generation.
in the next thing. No, because Infinity War is being broken down into 2 movies.
Oh, okay.
So this is part 1 that comes out this week. Part 2 comes out next year, and I believe Captain Marvel will probably be a part of that then, because that gets released before the next Infinity War, just like Black Panther.
But what I was starting off with
Yeah.
is the fact that yes, Black Panther is a necessity before Infinity
Yes,
War.
it absolutely is. Thor Dark World you can get away with. It just kind of introduced the Dark Elves and introduced the Ether, but because...
Well, unless I can tell you, unless Spider-Man is somehow on my Netflix or my Hulu, it will not be watched before.
Okay. Do you have stars?
No.
Okay. Do you want to come to my house and borrow it?
No.
Because I have it. Because, yeah, I mean, you kind of... Because there's going to be a lot of things that Peter has in this movie that were introduced in Homecoming. Some of the technology and stuff, so...
I think I'll catch up.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
Okay.
I had not seen it. Those are the
You're
only...
giving him anxiety.
It really... I mean...
I know, right?
I mean, honestly... Well, not you give me an example. I'm just saying, like...
What's wrong with you?
No, I'm just saying, like, you really should see it, though, because it really is a good movie. It is on par, maybe actually a little bit better than the original Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire.
Those weren't good.
Okay, those weren't good.
But I'm
so,
saying,
yeah.
but it's better than.
Okay.
I'm saying Barbarella with Jane Fonda was better than that. Yeah, it probably was.
But, I mean,
Good movie.
but hold on. But it was the first real Spider-Man movie. So that in itself, even though it wasn't great movie, it was still great because it kind of allowed them to look at it and go, you know what, maybe we can actually do this. So you actually kind of have to give credit to Sam Raimi and Tobey Maguire for kind of launching the Marvel universe. Because Marvel looked at it and went, maybe we can do something.
Okay.
So, yeah, I'm just saying.
I'm glad everything's on video now, so like when you guys geek out on Marvel, they can just see how dumbfounded I look. Like I'm just like a deer in headlights. I'm like, what are they talking about?
No, no one can see me.
No, yeah, they can. You're on video.
No.
No, you are. On
You're
video.
on video
That
right
video's
now.
you.
And actually, I found a way. I found a way while we were talking. I have all 3 of our cameras going at the same time.
Great.
Sad.
Yeah.
I believe that's called a menage a trois.
Yes.
Okay, I'm just saying. Just saying. All right, so let's talk a little hand combat here, and then we'll wrap up some stuff here.
Sacrilege.
I know.
What are our topics? Boxing and MMA. Well, let's get to them. The end of the show.
Dude, as much as we were talking about how Eddie Vedder goes in the back room and comes up with a set list, sometimes
what do I feel like talking about?
What do I
today?
feel about today? Kind of
on the drive here.
Well, sometimes.
I mean, our production meetings are me texting you guys going, so what are we talking about? Who do we have as a guest? Do we have anybody as a guest?
But it leaves a great paper trail. It really does. But
it's frustrating for me because I can't prepare for anything if I don't know what's going on.
So Cody's going to be back next week.
Yes.
And then you have a game plan.
I do have a game plan.
A little bit on
Yeah,
it?
so basically the game plan, and it was in honor of Infinity Wars. The game plan, and
it's good because we would have seen it by now.
Yes, the game is going to be, and I'm still working on it or whatever. I will give you guys names, and you will tell me if they are the nickname of a fighter or the name of a superhero.
I got
that'd be
yeah.
easy.
All right.
Not as easy as you think.
Easy.
Or no, wait. Name of a superhero, name of a fighter, or both, because there are some that are going to be both.
I got you.
Yeah.
I got
So
you.
I might modify it a little bit before next week, but that's basically the premise behind
So
it.
now we can study up. Thanks.
You can, but I'm just giving you a warning. It covers Marvel, DC, Dark Horse, all of them.
Only Dark Horse?
I'm just saying, comic doesn't necessarily just mean
We'll have to
Marvel or
look through our
DC.
previews.
Yeah.
So all right, so let's just run through a lot of stuff here. Let's start with Clarissa Shields. She's fighting June 22nd. It was announced at the Masonic Temple in Detroit. The co-main event, and that event will be on Showtime, will feature Christina Hammer. Obviously, Christina Hammer. She's fighting. I can't remember. I think it's Tori Nelson, the lady that Shields just fought. The bus driving waitress boxer who actually did pretty well against Shields, meaning she didn't get knocked out, survived the 10 rounds. So if Hammer's able to knock out Tori, it adds some intrigue. Maybe, if Hammer's able to get her out of the ring quick.
And this is at the Masonic Temple.
Masonic Temple, June 22nd. Keith Thurman has officially vacated his WBC welterweight title. But if you remember 3 weeks ago, Keith Thurman injured his left hand in training and the May fight's off. What I wanted to say is that the UFC, as critical we are about the UFC, the one thing they do get right is the interim belts. I don't think somebody should have to vacate a belt or lose a belt due to an injury. And so, that sucks for Keith Thurman that he's vacating a belt because of an injury, it appears. That's the one thing I do like UFC does is, they'll have, an interim belt, and then when that guy comes back healthy, the two belt holders go. I'm not saying that boxing will ever get organized and make that happen, but that I just think that an injury in a sport where you're constantly getting hit or hitting people, that should be not a reason to lose a belt.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Good shout out to our friend Matt, who runs KOP. He has another event happen on June 30th. I did not make it to KOP, but I heard it was a huge success. Not only did I hear it was a success, this guy is building something out there in the Midwest that is, let's be honest, it's consistent, it's constantly packed. Not only is it constantly packed, he's doing it better than most people in the state. I'm not saying there's not people in the state that run good organizations or good MMA shows, but he's doing something really, really, really special out there. So congratulations to KOP on their show. Their next show is June 30th at the Deltaplex. And if Cody's in town, he will definitely be there. And the Golden Gloves happened since the last time we were here.
Yeah, how'd it go?
Went amazing. So, the history of our Golden Gloves is amazing. Joe Louis, won the silver trophy in our tournament. Not only that, it sold out the Olympia arena back in the day, right?
Mm-hmm.
So use that with a grain of salt of what I'm talking. In the last 15 years, with some of these board members, I've been on the board probably 4 or 5. It's the biggest one we've had.
Mm-hmm.
So is it anything crazy like it was Kobo back in the day? No, but we're moving in the right direction.
Right, yeah.
We had 800 people. The Detroit Free Press wrote an amazing article.
Cool.
We had great media coverage, and it was exciting. And then on Friday night, you had a pro show going less than half a mile away at Motor City, and I think that was our best attendance night.
Okay.
It was on Friday, which thus proves the AMI
Right.
crowd is different than the pro crowd.
Mm-hmm.
So all around, a huge success. Our national team mid-May goes to Omaha, Nebraska. I do think there's a national champion on. I don't want to jinx them. I do think we have a national champion on this team, and but it's successful. Detroit Golden Glove. You can still support the Golden Gloves by going to DetroitGoldenGloves.org and donating money and making the dreams of a lot of people come true, because it's neat to see these things. Now, I did want to say this. So the story of the tournament, which was not probably said, is our good friend Tony Harrison's fighting May 11th. Is it May 11th, Ishe Smith? First off, that's a good fight for him. Is it May 11th? So,
but I think it is.
yeah, so he's fighting in May. Ishe Smith is a good name for Tony Harrison. This is a good fight. He should win it. What Tony Harrison has done with the community and giving back, he had an army, didn't he, Rochelle, of little kids fighting in this thing.
Absolutely.
We should post the picture on here. The story of the tournament is what he's built and what he's given back, and how big the Henry Hank gym is. Him and his dad are building something amazing. I just think it's absolutely fantastic. It's huge. Like, to see what they've done in 3 years and what they're going to be doing going forward. And here's a guy that's not doing it not doing it for the glory, because the thing is, Tony Harrison will have his hood up, doesn't want to be announced that he's at events, is doing it for the right reasons, and doing it while he's fighting in his career, not after.
Right.
Like, making the time for it
Yeah.
now.
Mm-hmm.
That's the story of the Golden Gloves. And his team won the team trophy because they had the most entrants and most wins.
Mm-hmm.
So congratulations, to Tony Harrison and his gym and his dad and everybody that's a part of that. To me, that it's amazing, because we're seeing these gyms grow, and it's making for more successful tournaments. So the Golden Gloves was absolute success.
Cool.
On a sad note, though, as you brought up, a good friend of our show, I think he's been on 5-6 times, Dwayne Williams, had his house broken into this past week. Not only did he lose his fight purse money, his kids lost their toys and everything like that. But there is a GoFundMe page for people.
It's a he posted on Facebook. I'm actually trying to pull up the thing right now. But it's I believe a fundraising page. I don't know if it's necessarily GoFundMe. Let's see. It's on Facebook. It's a Facebook fundraiser. If you just go to his Facebook page, Dwayne Williams, DW. Hold on. Find where his thing goes. DWAYNE Williams. You can donate. It's a Facebook donation page. House broken into, stole the fight money, his TV, his laptop, his son's games, his PS4 and an Xbox, and rent money. So, yeah.
Shit, that sucks.
Yeah. So, yeah, he's a friend of the show. Been on here a bunch of times. So, if you can find him, get on Facebook and donate if you want to. I believe he's trying to raise about $5,000 to cover all the losses. So,
right.
hopefully, he gets back on his feet and gets some of that recouped.
Oh,
so,
yeah, absolutely.
And hopefully they find the guys and they just basically let Dwayne have his way with them for a little bit.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Wouldn't it, though? I think that'd be kind of... I'd love to record that.
Oh, my God. Yeah, so hopefully they do find the people, but more
Yeah.
importantly, he gets his stuff back. In the
Yeah,
money,
exactly.
We will be back next week. Cody will be back
From
Italy.
Italy.
And
Italiano.
we will have guests next week, I
Yeah.
promise.
Do you think when he comes back, he's going to be going, hey, oh, hey.
No, but I know he has some probably amazing stories for us.
Yeah.
I'm excited to, like, I just picture there's stuff that Cody doesn't probably understand about, like, Italy, like the Vespas and stuff. Like, I can't wait to hear his observations.
It's
like,
going to be
you know,
awesome.
Like
It's
so,
gonna
like,
be
they're not
awesome.
a motorcycle,
Yeah,
but they're not a scooter.
right.
They're a Vespa.
They're a
You know,
Vespa.
and, like, you just be like, I just want to hear Cody's observations of the country. And
I
then,
am Princess Vespa,
right.
daughter of Roland,
and-
king of the Druids.
And here's a guy that is very healthy, clean living.
Just so much pasta.
There's so much carbs over
So
there, dude.
much pasta.
We might not even recognize
He's
Cody
going to
when
come
he
back
comes
and
in,
just
right?
going to be bloated.
Cody be like, found some carbs over there, brought them back for souvenirs. Yeah, you're going to run into some carbs. But we will be back next week.
Yep.
Take care. All right, what do you need me to grab?